Now, if you're new here, my content typically revolves around tips, tricks, and hacks on how to scale your print-on-demand business or get involved with print-on-demand, which is basically what this video is too. But instead of walking through a certain topic, I'm just gonna give you free game on if I was launching print-on-demand, different niches and areas that I'd have my eye on based off of learnings that I didn't really think about when I first started my business. Know me at all, you know that I'm all about transparency. I'm all about doing things on the cheap as well. When I launched my print-on-demand business and was able to grow that business, I didn't have a ton of capital, which is why I love the print-on-demand business model. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense all the time to invest all this money in research tools. So the tool that I'm talking about today is something that Etsy actually provided us, but is valuable if you're launching with Etsy, or if you have Shopify and you're driving traffic to your own shop, or you do run merch on demand or have some other variation of print on demand. Etsy is a marketplace where people are there to shop for things. And so whenever we can take any data from a place where there is data associated with people buying things, we want to utilize that to give us a leg up on our own businesses. So earlier this spring in April, Etsy did a few things. They had their earnings statement and they walked through that they were a little bit unimpressed with the results they've seen so far. They mentioned that they anticipate summer to have a little bit of a slowdown, which is not particularly surprising given the fact that summers are typically slower seasons anyways, and there's more shopping happening in Q4. And they released their first ever spring and summer predictions guide. With this guide, they are basically giving you the data that you would get from a tool like Everbee or eRank, where you have to dig through the data and find out for yourself what is trending. This gives us data on, in the last couple of months, where have eyeballs been? And that's exactly what we want to do. You can launch a shop that is broad and goes across a bunch of things, but you're likely gonna have more success if you're able to narrow down or niche down into an area. And you may be somebody that's thinking you're wanting to start a shop, and I'm gonna run through like these trends and my ideas on how I would adapt that with the print-on-demand mindset. Or you may have a shop live right now and maybe you wanna just start adding in and branching out and thinking of different ways to continue to build momentum with the sales you're seeing. And there might be some good tips and tricks in here as well. We have got to utilize the resources that are given to us. We can use these trends and tips to basically help us with finding the right products, listing the right products. All we're ever really trying to do in e-commerce is find a niche, provide a product, fulfill the customer needs, and eventually make money. I would say hopefully you can find a niche and hopefully you can utilize this data and go into print on demand, ready to enjoy the journey and not just say, hey, I'm doing this to make $50,000 a month like you might see some of these gurus saying you can do. Hopefully you also want to be launching this for the learnings, for understanding marketing better, trying to grow a business and build something for your own and build those skills. I think that will make it easier to propel your business, is getting value out of the things that are happening along the way and not just the payout at the end of the road. Without further ado, I'm just gonna walk through each trend that they've noted here and then provide the print on demand lens on top of that. So the first one is Chef's Kiss. I would like to say that this is particularly topical at the moment. I don't know if anybody else watches The Bear, but season 3 just dropped, and I think that show has provided a lot more emphasis on cooking and celebrity chef. Yes, chef is a really popular term right now. So I absolutely love that this trend was highlighted, and I think that there is so much potential here. So if you do want to launch a shop and you want it to be kitchen-centric or food-centric, I think the world is your oyster and the sky is the limit with ideas that we can come up with here. I'll address the ones in the file first, but the first one that my eyes immediately go to is the t-shirt. Print on demand tees are the bread and butter. This one says spread your wings and fry, and it's a cartoon chicken wing tee. This is something that literally anybody can do. You can go onto Kittl, you can go onto Canva, you can utilize pre-built designs on Creative Fabrica and then edit them yourself, and take funny foods or foods that people are constantly liking and eating, adapt it in a cartoon-centric mindset, and paste that for your own tees. I think if you want to get ahead of fall trends, you could look forward to fall and see what types of cartoon adaptations we could look from this. But anything t-shirt I think is going to be fantastic in this space. You could also launch into oven mitts as a print-on-demand item. We talked a little bit about cutting board in some of my previous videos that my favorite print-on-demand provider, Printed Mint, just launched. That's another area where we can launch a kitchen specific or a cooking specific brand and have all of these things be adjacent. So you're not just building a bunch of random things together. It's all fitting and cohesive, which is something that Etsy will recognize. They want people coming on that are going to have longevity, provide a good experience, and will ultimately bring customers back to Etsy. You can also notice here teeny time, cocktail specific attire and beverage specific things like the espresso martini, coffee, any of those things are constantly trending. So another area for you to lean in, whether that be t-shirts, mugs. The other thing that I think is really great about this is what's in this yellow blurb, and that's 465% increase in searches on Etsy for host or hostess gift. I think that's awesome. People are finally getting back to hosting parties and moving and inviting people over, and the fact that this is such explosive growth, it's another great way or another great keyword to incorporate into your listings if you have something already in your shop that could be utilized as a host or hostess gift but is not currently marketed that way. The next theme is Western 2.0. It's been amazing to see this revival of country music. We see artists that weren't previously country moving in to become country artists. We see influencers that are moving out to the country and living a more humble lifestyle. And so this is a trend, especially in summer where concert season is upon us, I think is a great thing to lean into. Some things here that stand out are a lot of these products could just be print on demand products. So the fact that this demand is already there is awesome. So the things in the left-hand corner here are the Cowgirl Boots Western Tea Towel. Absolutely love that. You can go on to Printify, type in tea towel, and you will see that there is a Printify tea towel. This is something that we could get launched. Oh, look at that. It's sold by Printed Mint. Back to Printed Mint, love them. It's something that we could sell right away. Tea towels are something that is found here on Western, but if you have a Western adjacent brand or something that is kind of close to that and you haven't thought about tea towels, the fact that it's here is a good thing to look into. Sports core is the next theme. Absolutely loving it. So this is an area where throughout the summer, especially as people are out, school is out, kids are out playing, people are out on their summertime vacations and trips, there is huge opportunity here to double down on what's working across the sports side. A couple things to highlight here in the top right hand hoodie, we have retro jerseys, sweatshirts, think hoodies, think embroidered vintage. Those are all potential options for this category. We see a lot of t-shirts out right now on the market for most sports. A great way to adapt those into more of a hoodie specific, crew specific, warmth option for the upcoming cooler time frames. Another cool thing about this is the custom balls. If you go onto Printify, they actually have golf balls that you can customize with your own design, sell them as a pack of 6. So if you have a golf shop or you want to be getting into a space like this, just one really great example of taking something that is popular in terms of sports core, where people are willing to spend a little bit more money on a gift or for themselves, and adapt that into your own business where there's already demand. The other thing that this put me on to is, as a lot of us know, the Olympics are upon us now and happening soon. You could look and see if there isn't a lot of penetration for certain Olympic sports that aren't as popular and try to penetrate that niche a little bit. I know for the Winter Olympics, whenever those come around, I'm absolutely a fanatic over curling. I don't know why, I couldn't tell you. But I love it so much, and I would absolutely buy like a curling hoodie or just something fun that's topical in the moment that gets that excitement about the games. So just something else to think about if you're interested in the sports core theme. Now, the next topic here is time-honored textiles. And when I first saw this, I thought, wow, this is gonna be a tough one for print on demand because the entire spirit of this is for something that is long-term and something that you keep. So it might be harder to find something that really specifically fits with this trend. But what I will voice over is that I think that this has potential to just continue with the embroidery trend and patches. These are areas where we've always seen embroidery do very well. And if you're gonna customize something with embroidery, it really constantly is a bestseller. So I think if you can find more use cases for embroidery, that would work really well. I'll also note that Printful recently launched a patch, so very, very in line with the time-honored textiles. Patches are something that's been around forever. And so if you are an artist or you are somebody that is interested in designing patches, this is an option that you could customize and do on Printful, and it's brand new, so definitely something to take a look at if you're interested in patches. This one is Rom-Com Interiors. We talked a little bit about blankets and tea towels and all these different things that can be very eclectic, very customized based on whatever somebody's looking for. One thing that I'll hone in with the rom-com interiors trend is the 61% increase in searches on Etsy for book lovers gifts. So while this idea is not necessarily specific to rom-com interiors, the fact that there's been a 61% uptick in book lovers gifts is awesome. That in itself is a trend that you could double down on time and time again. There's so many niches that you can penetrate there. So if you have an interest in reading anything, whether that be sci-fi or romantasy or anything like that, you could launch a brand that just propels that forward. Modern Milestones is the one that absolutely blew my mind. And I'm mad at myself that I didn't think about a lot of this, but what has happened the last couple of years? We've gotten to the point where we want to treat ourselves, we want to celebrate, and we will find as many reasons as possible to celebrate as we can. And so this one just like hit home and stuck with me because I absolutely loved it. It's basically calling out that there are all these little celebrations that can be celebrated and that we can and should get gifts for ourselves or for other people when those moments happen, because we have to celebrate when we can. So some examples in here that I thought were great: self-gifts. Journals are fantastic to treat yourself. Mugs, self-care, any of those types of things can all be adapted with print on demand. Candles, I just had that great video where we talked through candle options across Printify and Print and Mint. Like, you could start a brand with these today and just do self-gifts, like light this when you need a reminder that you're a boss bee. Like, amazing. You also have friendship gifts. So 30% increase in people just wanting to tell their friends, like, thanks, thank you for being my friend. The other thing that I thought was absolutely unhinged in here, and I loved it, was divorce gifts. 266% up, 1 in 3. Pretty sad, but fantastic. This could be a moment to celebrate, it could be a moment to cry, but regardless, people are looking for this, and I think the other reason why this is done so well is gift mode was that new feature that Etsy launched in the last year or so, where they're really pushing gifts. They are marketing themselves as a marketplace for people to go to for all gifting occasions. And so that push and that upper funnel and that awareness marketing that Etsy has done is really showing here on why people are coming here for gifts that we never even thought of, and moments that we were like, should we celebrate that? But it's awesome, and I think that my mind for this went to doing a couple of things. And the first thing I wanted to do was go to ChatGPT, utilize AI to help me with this. So I basically wanted to kind of understand, give me a list of modern moments and to spark my idea on what I could build for this niche. So after plugging that in, it returned back a bunch of different ideas. Utilize the technology that we have at our hands. If you're not comfortable with technology, that's okay. Get ChatGPT. Free. You go in there and you type in some messages and it just spits things out at you, and you can utilize that for your business. So by adding in the modern moments and celebrations, these are some things that it shot out that immediately gets us cooking. Like, there are ideas here and we know that the demand is available. So some things I saw in here that were great would be divorce party. We love that. We already know that that's trending. Adopting a pet could be huge. There's a huge opportunity in the present day and era to do a lot more pet options. There's a lot of parents these days that are pet parents, but not actual baby parents. The DINK term, dual income, no kids, is a hilarious trend that you could build an entire brand off of. Something to think about if you're in that niche. Solo travel adventure. I could see something coming back of like a journal that you could give to gift to solo travelers before they go on their travels to like make note of what they're doing. Graduating an online course could be huge. Plant parenting milestone. Don't know, but I love that. Friendiversary is another one. We saw friend gifts trending well. How cool if you provided a candle that said, thanks for being my friend for the last 5 years. I love that. Digital nomad lifestyle. Congrats on committing to going digital. Vegan or vegetarian anniversary. How often are we seeing people go vegan or vegetarian for life roles? Congrats, you did it. 5 years vegan. Props to you. New car or vehicle purchase. Solo living celebration. I remember the first time I got my own apartment, and it was a modern milestone. So I can't say it enough. I think this is fantastic. I saw one also on here that was congrats on starting your own business. So will be relevant people in our sphere. Also, I saw one for social media milestone. There are so many people, that are out here on social media. I just hit 500 followers. So congrats to me. Who's gonna send me something? But these are all examples of like, people are wanting to celebrate these moments. And that is exactly what print on demand can do. Is you don't have to have 5,000 of these things produced. The order comes in, we customize it, we ship it out. So you don't own the inventory. I just think this one in itself is a huge opportunity, and I'm excited to see what your thoughts are. Leave them in the comments. I love that one. For my artists out there, if you are artsy and you can do something related to customization and painting or digitizing images, I thought this is a category that could completely be so profitable because you can charge a lot more. I can't charge too much if I'm gonna just print a standard name on something, but if you're going to draw or utilize Photoshop to edit a couple's portrait, that comes with a lot of value and people are willing to pay that. Etsy also launched a registry basically. And so this is a category they're going to continue to push. Also something that you could launch on your own through a Shopify or through something else, but the demand is already there on Etsy. So you see these customized bride and groom mugs, absolutely something that we can do. Finding out a way to adapt these to be a little bit different than what's in the market so far. These customized pieces, I thought it was so great that you're seeing venue illustrations at 146% increase. I had never thought about that, but that would be a wonderful gift. And you could probably adapt that for new home gifts or first car gifts, or if you have somebody that is really obsessed with a moment or a place in their life, and you are artistic enough to make something like this happen, I think it's really cool. So there you have it, folks. I will link this guide in the description below and continue hitting you with all these free game hacks on how to really break into the print-on-demand industry. If this is interesting to you whatsoever, please like and subscribe for more content like this.